Just recently, I was recognizing a very crucial pattern within myself that made me think about something that I was struggling for quite some time. And what I'm talking about is the thing of being really able to feel so destined to go after something specific. I didn't have that for such a long time, and I was wondering for so long what is wrong. Not only in that regard, but also in regard of my feelings. I just didn't feel good, and I didn't know where it came from. I certainly had everything I wanted, or it seemed like, and didn't understand why. Why is it so hard? Why can't I just be happy and do things as other people and just go after a normal job or get into a normal life? Some people just seem to easily get wrapped into these structures and all the impacts their life is doing on them, and they be like set into some sort of places and just let their lives progress in that. But that also didn't feel right. I didn't want to get encapsulated by someone who's telling me what I should do. And it's not like that I'm the biggest rebellion in this regard, but I just wanted to find my own thing and do it, build on that. Why should I do something different when I can still get onto the track of being able to start recognizing what is deeply underlying in there? Because there is something. It's in all of us. But someone else just came over and told you, yeah, you gotta do that. You make you start to resemble someone else's life only through the impacts you have. Just think about the fact, what is life? What are we? What are the fundamental blocks of why am I thinking like that now? Or why am I acting like this? To some degree and to some point in our lives, we were guided. And that is great. We need guidance. When someone popped us onto this world and would just lay us aside, we would just die. Humans need guidance for a certain amount of time. And that's fine. That's great. But there comes a point where you're your own guide, where you can and certainly should start to think where you are and what the overall things about your life are. What is your life and what made you who you are today? What is the whole background? Why are you thinking and feeling like that? Why is everything not clear or so clear? It doesn't matter in which direction you are going, because there's always enough reason to start understanding where you come from. And in the times where I felt the most lost, I didn't know anything about where I came from. It just felt like I was popped out of out of my mother, I'd say, even though I was 14 back that time and don't know where to go. Even though I had time before to start living, start having interests, start doing things, start going after the conventional things a young person does, maybe, or where your parents put you in. But I didn't feel good about all these things. I moved away, everything was too hard. There were things, and I recognized that later, that have been impacting my life in a way that made my decision making and my endurance, my overall like discipline to stay on track of something that's harder for me. Because I got some and very many things without doing too much from my mom's side. And I had to reflect on that for years to understand, why am I running away from the things that are so hard for my life? Why are these things like that? When you get things too easily, what is the solution? Or what is the outcome for that? Yeah, okay, there's always a certain person that goes in another direction, and we all making our own experiences. It's just I'm reconstructing what made me who I am. And that was certainly a part of it. That was a part of what made me who I was back then. But it's not written into stone. We are not set up for that. We can also change. Even though a big impact was made on us, on our lives, on our development, it's not that you can't go into the different kind of direction and start understanding what is going on, or what can I do to go another way. So what I missed out for years, when these feelings still already emerged in myself, was that crucial point of just starting with the things I'm valuing. And that is the other part. When your values are not based on things you can stand behind completely, then you won't be able to recognize things that you could grow towards. Because when you're not able to say, I'm fully behind this and I can relate to that because I'm feeling like this is the right thing to do, right way to go, because I'm valuing like honesty, I'm valuing being on the dot with the time, like I don't know the word now, but you're not delaying yourself, you're arriving, you're going after things, you have values you go after. When these things are built within you on a certain foundation of recognition and realization, with a specific amount of implementation already attached to it, then you will have a way easier time to find what you're actually destined for. Because it's not a big distance between you and the things you could go after. And you could also think, yeah, okay, I'm honest, but what could I build from that? We can abstract these things. It's not ending at these values of yours, like honesty. It can be broken down further and be merged with your interest that might develop over the course of the next period of finding yourself. Because I think these values can be moved into your interests as well. It can be personality traits, or it can be things you're going after, things you value in other people. If you start to see that there are things that just outweigh all the other things, and you don't recognize it yet because you haven't ever thought about it like that, it can certainly be a thing you could start to get closer to, because it resembles something that just makes your heart go up, that makes you feel great. And it can be whatever. It can be you are the kind of person that loves to tell people about yeah, some sort of thing, or you can be the person that sees much in other people, or whatever you're carrying within you. You just have to start analyzing what you're doing. Where are the things that are interesting you? And if you still don't know, look at what you're looking at. There are certainly things out there that know you better than you might know yourself, because they know your behavior. And what I'm talking about here is every social media platform you're using. On all these platforms, there's a big footprint you haven't ever seen, and they're storing it. They know exactly what to show you because they want to keep you on that platform for sure. So why shouldn't they just analyze so hard what you're looking at? For how long? Are you looking at this 1 second longer, or are you swiping away? How long are you looking at that? Are you interacting with it? What is this you like? So start looking at that. What are you liking in this content you're looking at? What is the real thing that sparks your curiosity up in that when you don't know where to go? When you just feel like lost in the sauce and doing things just for the sake of doing it. Look where you're looking. And yeah, you might have also a big trashed space on your social media where you just see this meme content all over the place. And then you gotta, yeah, maybe just rethink what you're doing with your time. And that might be a better step to start thinking about finding, your interests out of the content you're looking at, even though it's still possible for sure. It can also be like you're forming a great taste for humor, and you could also start doing something like that. You could also be a creator. You could also stand behind some sort of value you are creating for someone else because you have a certain taste in things. So you can always abstract, even though you're in a position that doesn't seem so great at all with in regard of using it as a possibility to make something out of it, for example. But it is possible by using and building the foundation. But the foundation comes from time and effort you put in, your history, your background, your time and growth you've made along the way. Because only through that you'll be able to see what you value, what you want to be, where your blind spots are. You won't see anything in all this noise when you don't know who you are, and you won't find a way. It's just too messed up. You're just all over the place. And that was exactly the thing I was exposed to back then, way too hard. I didn't know where to go. I stopped all the things I was doing the years before because it just was too hard. I didn't feel good at it. I tried to find the easy route, but that was the main problem. I just didn't stick to it. And I couldn't see how far I can take a certain thing within my life and just be happy with the progress, even though it might not be 100% the thing. But yeah, then at least I can say then, yeah, it was a good experience. I'm moving on now. I couldn't do that. So I had to build from the ground up. And that's why I'm always referring to look at your past, look at your history, try to understand where your values are. Try to see through these things. Try to adapt these realizations you make. Try to hold on to them. Because all these things you practically apply to your life are worth nothing when you don't actually do it. When you don't sit down and for hours maybe writing down. That's not a thing that I would recommend. Little but very big, because you gotta hold on to these things. You gotta remind yourself of the things you see, even if you're feeling like shit. you still won't find repetition in your action, which is necessary for your growth when you are not holding on to it. So starting from the ground up may sometimes seem very hard and a big challenge, but I'm convinced that we can grow way further when we just let these things that impact us sink, start to understand what we are in this, what we want from this, where we came from, where are our blind spots. We gotta know the tactics of our enemy, which in every case is us. We are not fighting against them, but we gotta know what they carry within them. And only through starting to taking a keener eye onto their look and onto what they resemble, we can build our own shields against these forces they might be able to apply on us. And we can also be drowned by ourselves. There can also be a fight started every time when we don't show them that we are also in a position where we could win against them. Our own self is only fighting against us when we are not giving them the look that we can withstand their forces. When we lose control of ourselves, we are breaking down the shields and start being vulnerable and exposed to forces that might start to control us. And this can go as far as not only having a fight with us that we might lose, but also to get added to the control of someone else who is pointing our lives and our ways in the direction where they want us to go. That is the least thing you want to. So yeah, maybe there was something for you in that one. I'm happy about a new lighting setup I made. Maybe it's coming to work quite good. Let's see. So I wish you all the best. And yeah, I'll see you very soon again. Bye bye.